Hi, I'm Tony, this is Slack, welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be reviewing the Alien kit by Smok, apparently. And welcome back in the room. Like I said, Smok Alien kit. Right, the kit consists of the Smok Alien 220 mod and the TF V8 Baby Beast. You spelt that wrong, remember for next time. Moving quickly on.
Yeah, so they're both really good bits of kit in their own right. So, you know, as always, we go review them separately, the mod, the thing, and then talk about how they are, you know, their combined sum of their thing. And yeah, great, it'll be amazing.
Before we dive up close, we've just got two little nitpick things. You know, first off, my nitpick with the name of the company to start with, which we've already dealt with in a previous video. Check our other videos for a previous video. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know you found it. But on this particular one, the tagline, better than you expect.
Talk about selling yourself. Well, having read that tagline, I now expect this to be shit. So, you know, it's probably not going to be surprising because that tagline is so awful. Yeah, we might as well have said it's not that shit, really. You know, that's kind of what I get from that as a tagline.
And the other one on the website, Alien Kit. Know it, tame it.
Yeah, I don't want to be taming my vape. I just want to be vaping. I mean...
There's a Chinese bloke in China, and he's just sort of like just doing the what's it called? Translate.
Yeah.
Google Translate. That's what he's doing, and whatever comes. Yeah, that's fucking perfect. Just put that up there.
But also, yeah, in terms of you calling it Alien, it's quite a big film franchise, and what happened when they tried to tame the alien? Bad things happened. Alien 3 happened, but yeah, okay, that's a different argument. Anyway, enough about that. Let's dive down for an unboxing. Right, let's unbox the Alien kit from Smok. So, quick tour around the outside of the box. Smok, picture of the device, Atty and tank, and then, yeah, Alien kit. Now, first impressions here is this looks like a slick business product. Doesn't particularly look that alien to me. I would have liked the marketing to have, you know, sort of followed with the name a little bit instead of this sort of professional business appearance where, you know, it's the type of company where they will ban Comic Sans as a font. Anyway, quick tour around the box. You have your QR codes to download the Vaping Tour app, available on the App Store and Google Play. Over this side we have our scratch and sniff code and yeah, Alien kit. On the back we have some details about the content, so one Alien 220 mod, one TF-V8 baby tank, replacement glass tube, spare parts, USB cable for charging and upgrading, which is pretty cool, one user manual, one V8 baby T8 core, easy for me to say, 0.15 ohms, octuple coils, and one V8 baby Q2 core, 0.4 dual coils pre-installed. So that's what we're going to be running with first. Looking at the rest of the spec for the mod here, it's 85 by 44 by 30 millimeters, power range 220 watts, resistance range is 0.1 to 0.3, 0.06 to 3 in TC mode. TF-V8 baby tank is a stainless steel construction. It's 22 by 53 millimeters. It weighs 47 grams. It's got a 3 milliliter juice capacity, and it's got the standard 510 thread. So without further ado, you know, let's dive into this sucker. Okay, here's our standard Smok box, same as pretty much every Smok product I've seen. Okay, we're in. We have some tasty treats up top, and straight away, pow, there's your mod. We'll come and have a look at him in a bit. Let's finish going through the box. So we have battery safety, also battery safety, good advice, follow it. One QA quality test code and one QR code. One wordy thing, 6-month warranty period from date of purchase, which is nice. Crikey, it's still going. This is all in English. That's a lot of manual. Sorry guys, didn't mean to make you sit through this. But Careful, we might actually accidentally learn something there. Right, anyway, sack that off. Okay, here's our USB cable, fairly standard. Here's our spare grommets and rings and stuff. Some spare bands. Keep on vaping. I mean, that is a good message to have in the days of the FDA and TPD and all that shit. Yeah, keep on vaping. One spare glass. One additional coil, which is going to be a pain in the balls to get out, so we'll get to that in a second. And our TFV8 baby, which we'll zoom in on in a second. Right, as you can see, this is the octa coil. 4 dual coils in there. Lots of nice wicking. Really nice and fat coil, you know, compared to your sort of iJust2 type coils, you know, your sort of more standard one. This is shorter and fatter. Yeah, it looks like a serious beast. Right, let's take a quick uppy close look at our tank. So it's going to have the standard fill top where you find your directions where it says which way to pull, and then give it a good tug, and you're in. You've got your kidney shaped filling hole under this rubber grommet, just juice it in there. We'll shut him back up for now. Oh, nice click there, nice clicky action. So plasticky Delrin drip tip up top with a single O-ring. Double tiny O-rings, in fact, double tiny O-rings. So coming down the bottom, yeah, you've got the 510 centre pin and stuff going on down here. Nice threads on that 510, and the centre pin is very big. It's like really fat, almost up to the very edges, you know, only a thin bit of insulation there. Which I'm not sure if it's a trick of a light, but it doesn't look particularly even. Probably light. Anyway, this plate sticks out a fair amount from the base, which is good. Let's dive inside. So there we can see our chimney and its single O-ring protection there, and here's our quad coil, and yeah, again it's a lovely looking beast with interesting juice flow, you know, thinner at the top, wider at the bottom. Inside you can see the sort of centre pin connector there, which will lock down onto the bottom of the coils. It's a decent size, you know, you're not going to have any worries about that being too small, which is good. Quickly reassemble the tank is as simple as that. That's good, nice and easy to use, no faffing about with screw threads. So over to the mod. So we've got a protector screen on here, which I'm going to lose straight away. Right, so here's our Alien. Obviously you've got your OLED screen, which will show you got your up and down buttons. Here's your fire button. It's good. I do like this sort of fire button where you just squeeze it, you know, since the X-Cube and stuff. This is great. Love it. Bit of carbon fibre going on here. Smok Alien 220 TC. 321 vent holes there. Same deal over there. Looks nice. Adds to the styling. Already see loads of fingerprints. Coming down to the battery section. It's past the fact that it's got a battery section, but more importantly, look how happy it is. It's so happy to have passed its test. Also looks like it's got boobs from this angle. So interestingly enough, batteries are labelled A and B. Don't know if you can see that there, and it shows plus and minus. Now I like them when they're coloured in, so it's a bit easier to see in poor lighting. However, you know, it is perfectly visible. Not that you'll be able to see it in this lighting, I'm not going to try and light it, but down the bottom there are plus and minuses on the battery terminal, so you can look inside and find out which way the batteries go. Which, while we're up close, let's just do that. So I've got a fairly thick wrap on this battery, and it's a little bit stiff to get in, which gives me bad vibes about getting it back out again. That's going to be a case of having to finger that one to get him back out when we're ready. As I'm quite looking forward to using it, that won't be until these batteries are flat. There we go, nice stiff action there. It's a bit difficult to use, but you know, that's not going to come popping out on you and messing you about. Okay, we're running version 1.21. It's an Alien. I like that font. That's a really cool font. In fact, I like the screen. It's a nice looking screen, and we're presented with a ton of information in there. So voltage, ohms, amps. I like having that all to hand. It's brilliant. But we're not going to dive into the menu operation now. We'll save that for a bit later. I'm going to give the tank a clean up. In fact, yeah, let's see how it all looks together. Yeah, so here's our kit together. To give you an idea of scale, RX2/3 with a Sense Heracles on it. You know, it's a little bit smaller than that. Obviously width is going to be smaller, but a little bit smaller height wise. Obviously with the baby tank as well, you know, you bring the height right down. Quite a difference. Anyway, it's time for me to clean this tank up. Even though it has arrived fairly clean, we always give it a clean up, safety first. But yeah, we'll give it a clean up, chuck some juice in it, and see what it's got. So for now, back to the studio.
And back in the room, right. Thank you, Slack, for that average unboxing. No one has left us a bloody message. Someone say what they think of these unboxings. Who is better?
Probably Tony, because I'm like a kid in a sweet shop when I get this. I'm like, fuck the unboxing, I just want to use the fucker. So I just pull it out. Yeah, look, there's stuff. Look, there's loads of stuff. Right, okay, see you later, guys. Off we go. And yeah, so it probably is a bit shit.
Bringing us back into the room. Right, it's about this, the Smok Alien 220. What we're going to move on now to, though, is features, protections, power range, tech specs, all of that good stuff.
Okay, it's a 220 watt device, which you may guess from the name. It's a dual 18650 device, which you may not guess from the name. It measures 44 by 30 by 85 mils, so it's a pretty tidy size. The power range goes from 1 watt up to 220 watts. Resistance range runs from 0.1 to 3 ohms or 0.06 to 2 ohms in TC.
Temperature wise, it runs from 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's 100 to 315 degrees C.
We've got a spray painted zinc alloy body with a lovely OLED screen with absolutely tons of awesome information packed into it.
Okay guys, it's going to be one of those episodes where we're diving in and out as usual, so ready to dive back in? Is it in or is it out?
If you can't tell the difference, something's seriously wrong.
Diving down now for the old button pushes.
Right, let's quickly cover some button pushes. Obviously here is your go button. Here is your minus button, and underneath it is your plus button. In fact, actually, while we're up close, you can see the battle damage already. You can see the hit count. You know, we do use these a fair bit before we put them up for review, so we definitely know what we're reviewing. But I've actually been fairly careful with this. It's not like I've been riding in my pocket with keys or anything, or a screw like that one mod. However, yeah, it's already showing signs of wear and tear. However, it's not about that, it's about the button pushes, so get on with your job, Slack. I'm going to have to do a slightly ski whiff just because it's awkward to press. So we're in wattage mode, and you can see all this good stuff on the screen. You've got your voltage, you've got your ohms, you've got your amps, where it was last used, that's what your amps were. You've got the mode you're in, currently wattage. You've got your PCB temperature, which is nice, and then yeah, lifetime puffs while you're in wattage. This is the length of your last hit down here. So yeah, you've got individual cell monitoring. You've got whether you're in normal, soft or hard punch mode. You know, it's just full of useful information. It's really cool. Anyway, so main menu operations, the main thing you're going to need is your standard 5 clicks to lock it. And when it's locked, that's it, it is locked, and 5 clicks to unlock it. Simple as that. 3 clicks is going to take you into the menu. Now the menu can be navigated by a quick click to switch through all the different menu options. When you get to the one you want, long click will take you into there. Or you can cycle through with your forwardy, backward, uppy, downy. Whack it in wattage, long click, strength, normal, hard, soft. And that's it, and you adjust your wattage in varying increments. Bit of a ramp up speed on there, so you don't have to wait all day, which is nice. Just turn that down before something bad happens. Quickly show you temp control as well, which I really like. So yeah, we want mode, temp. Now this is your wattage you go run at in temp control. 55 is what I've set. Type of coil. We'll say stainless steel, it's not. Here you can adjust your TCR, which is brilliant. It's like a fine tuning. You don't get everything, you know, you just get a bit of a variation on the theme. It goes up from memory to 110 down to maybe 50, something like that for your stainless steel profile. You just select it and away you go. Now we're in temp control mode. You'll see the screen has slightly changed, and the other change obviously is you now adjust your temperature rather than your wattage. Pretty decent menu. So puff count, yeah, whatever. Settings, we'll just quickly run through what's in there. You've got screen time, how long stuff stays on. Screen lock setting, contrast for the screen, adjust your ohms, sort of fine tune adjusting. You've got download for your firmware update stuff, but it's best doing it through a computer and then you're back there. You can just leave the menu and it will just fuck off in its own time. Oh, stealth. But I'm not even interested in stealth. Now we're going through all the settings. God damn it, go away. Anyway, it's done. Back to the studio.
Right, okay, thanks for that sexy button pushing. Now let's talk about the buttons and the menu operation that you've just seen. Button quality is really, really good on this. I've not had any problems with it. That fire button is just awesome. It's really comfy to hold. It's a really good implementation. It's not awkward like the X-Cube 2 where you would accidentally set it off, but the action is just as easy to use in using. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the main button. Coming down to the plus and minus buttons, however, a little bit more confusing there. They work perfectly, you know, I've not had any mishits with them or anything like that. Well, I say mishits, yeah, I get that all the time. Because they've angled them at a slight wonky angle, the plus button is actually lower down the mod slightly than the minus button, and my brain keeps telling me because it's lower, that is the down. So I keep turning it up instead of down and down instead of up. If this was the only mod you're using, you would get used to that fairly quick. You know, it does make sense that up is on the right. You know, it is logical. It's not really a fault of the designers, but just where it's lower, it kind of tricks my stupid brain into pressing the wrong button nearly every time.
And lastly for this segment is the menu operation itself, which is the standard Smok affair we've always seen before. If we haven't, check one of our videos because there's plenty of them, and it's just the standard operation which we all know and love. So it's a little slow, but that's...
Yeah, a little sluggish, but I do like what they've done by adding like the TCR step. You know, when you go through, you say I want to do temp control, then I want to do stainless steel temp control. I want to do, you know, this is my TCR. You know, having all those settings go through is logical. It makes you think about it when you're using it, and yeah, it's just, I think, a nice implementation.
Next up is the firmware update. Yes, it is firmware updatable, which is lovely for these sort of devices. It also has a USB on board as well, so you've got a cheeky little charge in there as well. Important to note is that the latest version available on the website is 1.2. Is that 0.2 or is it 1.2?
Yeah, 1.2.2.
1.2.2.
Yeah, now that version does fix a couple of issues. Apparently there were misfires, but I didn't have any. It's supposed to have fixed the temp control, but we're going to come to temp control next anyway. We'll get into that, and you know, it's supposed to be better. We ran it in both. We did a lot of testing with the sort of out-of-the-box firmware, which is something we always like to do, because with firmware updates, you know, by the time we're releasing this, they could have already done a new one. You know, it's kind of there. But, you know, the firmware update procedure itself was pretty straightforward. Just go to the smoketech.com website and follow the links under the Alien kit. It is one of those unusual ones though where you're going to have to take the battery out and hold the button while you do the update, but just follow the on-screen instructions. You know, I've got it all on the website, follow it through, piece of piss.
Yeah, he's not emphasising that enough. Once you actually download the update, keep the website open because the instructions are there on how to go through the whole process on screen for you.
Yeah, I was going to do a recording of us doing it, but the thing is, if they change the procedure between this version and the next version, then we might give out duff information, so yeah, it's just follow the instructions. RTFM.
Next up, guys, temperature control.
Yes, it has temperature control.
And also that all-important adjustable TCR as well. So the out-of-the-box firmware on these units was a bit on and off in terms of temperature control. What we found when we updated it to the latest version 1.2.2 is that it's still a bit wavy.
Yeah, so what was happening is, you know, you were taking a hit and it was going sort of full power for a second and then off for 2 seconds, then full power for a second. It was very, it wasn't sort of regulating it, so it was on and off, and it was really noticeable. Now a lot of them sort of do it like that, but this seemed to be less noticeable. This was really, really noticeable in your face. You get nothing, and yeah, very strange. Again though, hopefully this is going to be fixed, because they've obviously identified that this is a bit of an issue, so hopefully it will be fixed properly in the next firmware update. Next up we'll talk about all things battery related. Now the battery life you get from this is pretty much what we would expect from a dual 18650. It's not great or poor, it's just run of the mill, does its thing.
So, like we said earlier, it's got a USB port on the side of it for charging as well as the firmware, and it works okay. What we will say is that while it can be used for a sort of like cheeky top up charge sort of thing, it's best practice to take the batteries out and use a dedicated charge point.
That is quite nice to see the individual cell monitoring in this. It's got active monitoring the whole time you're using it. You can see each cell, and when you're charging it shows the charge level of each cell as well.
Coming down the bottom of the device,
oh yeah,
gets a bit sticky. No, we're talking about battery fitting. It's got the flap on the bottom and it works fine. We've seen it in a few other devices. It's a better implementation than the shittier ones where the battery door actually comes off and then you've got something else to fucking hold.
Yeah, the only downside with it is where there's tubes for the batteries to slide straight in. If you're running thicker wraps or double wraps, like some of my batteries, they have a tendency to get stuck inside and are a complete pig to get out. But normal wraps, normal batteries, what most normal people will be using, absolutely fine. Just slide them right in. Won't feel a thing.
Wraps. Okay, we're kicking it down a gear now and going for the tank.
Yep, so TF-V8 Baby Beast. It is a fair beast as well. So the Baby Beast weighs in a weird 3mm. I say weird because it's not the 2mm standard thing we're seeing with the TPD compliant, which is good, but 3mm is still fairly small, so it's just kind of a weird place to be in. But juice wise, it carries some juice for you. Ease of filling, it's very easy to fill. It's that slidey offy top and just juice in the top, and I've had no leaks, no problems with that, and Tony finds that dirty. Occasionally you find the top slidey offy bit a little bit difficult to clip back in, where it's a sort of fairly rigid thing, but that works in its favour because it's not going to be accidentally flopping open on you. But the really good thing about that design, where the top stays connected, is it's not something else to hold while you've got a bottle of juice and a dripper and a thing and the top of your thing. You start balancing everything. So yeah, it's good, nice, compact, all in one unit.
Coil options wise for the TF-V8 Baby Beast, out of the box, or rather included in the box with it, you get the V8 Baby Q2, which is a 0.4 ohm dual coil that comes pre-installed in the tank. Also in the box you get the V8 Baby T8 0.15.
These coil names are shit. I mean, they're just... So as well as that, there is a whole host of coil options, and I keep seeing new ones, and they've all got these ridiculous Q8, 2, 3, 1 and B8. So it's really confusing, but it's good because there's a lot of coil options for you. However, while we're talking about the coils, I think now is a good time to mention one thing you might see about online is about coil life, and a lot of people aren't saying about coil life, but I'm going to tell you about my coil life with the Q2. So I put the Q2 in, I remember it, it was a Sunday night. I started vaping it on Monday. On my drive to work on Wednesday morning, I got a really dry hit, even though there's tons of liquid in there, and the coil was dead. I gave it a clean out. I managed to get a little bit more life, but there's always that burnt taste. The coil had just burnt out. 2 days use. 2 days use. And that is, I think, the single worst coil I've ever had. In its defence, I was using quite a sickly sweet juice in it, but then again I was also using exactly the same juice in the crown, and I got 2.5 weeks out of that coil. So it is not just the juice that was killing the coil. I think there was something going on. Could be a dodgy coil, could just be poor coil design. I don't know. However, more coils on order, easy for me to say. So do check our vlogs for an update on this one, because I like the tank, I like the coils. When it was working, the taste was great, the performance was great, but it just all of a sudden hard stop. So we're going to see if that's repeatable. Anyway, I'm waffling. So yeah, coils.
Lastly, and very quickly, you also get the option of the RBA base for it, which we'll try and be getting hold of and doing probably another little video. Not as long as this one though, I hope.
You'd be dragging it out a bit, even by our standards.
I have faith in our abilities.
Quickly, we'll mention the airflow. So airflow will vary coil to coil because they've got a whole host of coils out there, but yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not the most airy tank you've got, especially when you're sitting next to something like the Coleto. However, it is decent for a direct lung hit, and you get a good range of control with the airflow control. The airflow control, however, is a little bit tricky to use where it's so close to the base. It's a bit fiddly for my fingers. I guess people with smaller fingers, it'll probably be fine, but for me it's a bit of a struggle to turn it.
The flip side to that being, once you've got it set to where you want it, you ain't going to be touching it much more. Moving on to the drip tip. Plastic, fantastic, wide bore. We're not a fan. We just aren't. It's plasticky, like I said, a plasticky Delrin sort of affair.
Yeah, I mean, it does the job and there's absolutely no problems using it. It's not like it's bad, I'm just not a fan of that type of drip tip. But on the upside, it is the standard 510 drip tip fitting, so you can just whack anything you like in there and it'll probably fit fine. Well, maybe not anything. The Baby Beast is a pretty tough little unit. It feels like it would take a knock. It's got stainless steel construction, you get a spare tank glass, and the glass itself feels pretty solid.
Moving on to Spits and Swallows now for you, and it's been fine. We haven't had any issues with it, but the same as every other smoke kit that we've had, they've been admirable performers and not been at all leaky.
Or spitty, which is good. However, you would kind of expect that when you only get 2 days from your coil. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Hashtag issues.
Okay, Chuckles and I are going to talk about the kit as a whole now. Here we're also going to sort of do our heat testing so we can discuss the flavour you get from the tank, because we haven't touched that under the tank. It kind of works, the kit as a whole. But anyway, yeah, first things first, we're going to do our heat test where we just hammer the shit out of it for a bit and see how it fares. We've got it set to 70 watts on the T8 coil. The recommended best range for that is from 60 to 80. They do say it goes from 50 to 110, but yeah, we're going to run it at 70, just right in the middle of that ideal range. So just without further ado,
Apparently we're doing no further.
70 watts chucking tons of vapour. Loads of flavour coming through as well. Really nice flavour. Taking a long pull there, and yeah, no hate.
Really good flavour coming through on that.
Really, really good flavour. Just like the other coil, I was really impressed with the flavour performance.
No heat to the drip tip at 70 watts.
Yeah, I've just got some. Right at the end of that hit, I was getting a bit of heat.
It's a little bit warm, that's as much as I can detect.
Yeah, but that hit was cool. So it's, oh my god, this room.
Oh, there it is. I'm losing it.
You know, you might feel a sudden
Lower. That's enough.
But that is, PCB temperature is raised from 29 to 35 degrees C. That's just the PCB. Everything else, I mean, the tank glass itself is one of the coolest that I've felt after a heat test, particularly at 70 watts we were rocking that. Drip tip is a tiny bit warm, but only just warmer than room temperature. It's not bad at all. So yeah, really, just nothing hot there. It's good. I mean, that's handled the heat really well. As we already said, the flavour was just banging throughout that. Even when it got hot, we'd done all the hits, it was still going, and I don't have any doubts that would continue to go. Wicking wise as well, no problems there. We weren't getting dry hits. You know, it was still, every hit was just nice and consistent, and yeah, we used a reasonable amount of juice to it. Well, as we've now managed to do that heat test, you know, and talk about the flavour, and you've seen all the vapour, I want to go do the 110 watt hit and see how that fares. You know, we're not going to be hammering this, but let's just give it a go, because that's what it says it goes up to. Yeah, nice. Actually not too hot. Good lot of vapour quickly, you get a nice sort of warm hit, and yeah, it's just there. It works okay. So if you do like vaping at them high wattages, this could well be the coil for you. And yeah, it seems to work. I'm not going to thrash the coil completely. Obviously, you run it at 110 watts. That's going to be a lot less life than if you're running it at the 50 watt minimum that they say you can use it at.
Moving over now to the 510 connectors for both the tank and the mod. Now, because this kit is produced as a whole, they're designed to work with each other absolutely fucking perfectly. I mean, the tank pin has a nice good protrusion on that 510 connector, so you're not going to have any issues there. And the mod, it's a nice flat, no cups this time, just lovely and flat.
Yeah, so even if you want to stick a 40mm on top of this, it will work just fine, even though it will overhang the sides, obviously, but you know, you can do it.
Moving now on to portability, size and weight of the unit.
Yeah, it is massively portable because of that sort of side being the fire button. You just hold it in your hand and that's it, you go. You don't have to worry about finding your thumb. You can fire it with the inside of your hand. It just feels nice and comfy in the hand, you know, and that adds to the portability of it. It's a little bit weighty, but you know, it just feels nice and solid.
Yeah, I can't echo any more what Slack's already said there. I mean, this just seems like the natural progression from the X-Cube 2 that we reviewed ages ago, which was a clunky device compared to this. This thing is so well milled, the height of it fits in the hand.
Help!
There's like a bit of a dribble going on there. Dribble of expectation.
Okay, talking about the styling of the device quickly. I mean, in my opinion, they're calling it the Alien. It could have gone a bit more alien. Either it could have looked a bit like the Nostromo or something, you know, made it look a little bit more like that, or something a little bit more alien-y, you know. However, I really like the styling. I think it looks really good. There are a fuck ton of colour options for this. Most of them are around this black, where you just get a different colour border. You've got blue, you've got gold, you've got others. They've got a silver one, they've got a white one. You know, there's like a good amount of colour options there.
Accent colours.
As well as that, the way they've got it integrated with the button running down the side, I think that looks really cool. The screen is really cool with all that information on there. You know, I think they've just done a really good job with style.
Okay, very quickly for you guys, the warranty on it, and according to the documentation that came in the box, 6 months.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's got to be the standard thing. You break it, you bought it, but manufacturer's defects.
It's a definite improvement over the usual sort of 90 days something.
Or nothing.
Or,
you know, just wherever the shop you buy it from wants to give
fucking
you.
guess it.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so it's about that time where we sum up by way of pros and cons. Obviously, as always, starting with the cons so that we're ending on those beautiful pros. First up on the cons list has got to be the out-of-the-box TC settings that came with this were
Lackluster.
I was going to say lacking,
Yeah.
but then also the fact that the update hasn't really addressed it. I mean, they're working on it, so we can't tear them down fully for it. They're probably going to be releasing an updated firmware version. Hopefully, they're listening to the people.
Yeah.
So get on it, Smok. See, I'm calling you by your proper name, so fucking appreciate it. Give us some good shit.
Yeah, so that on-off temp control, just blasting off and blasting off, that needs to go. We need a bit more of a smooth temp control. Talking of something else we need a bit more of, next up on the cons list is the coil life. Now, again, we're going to revisit this, so do see us in a future vlog. However, 2 days from a coil, when it's not the only device I was using, it is really poor. You know, no excuse for that. So, did I get a dodgy coil? Other people, if you've had any experience on this, do let us know.
Next up on the cons list for you is that scratching up of the screen that happened really quite quickly and also a little bit mystically, magically, because the gentleman wasn't carrying any screws in his pocket this time. The screw is not the problem. We don't know what the problem is.
Spray painted zinc alloy is the problem. Next up on the cons list for me is definitely the plus and minus buttons. Having the plus button sit below the minus button. Maybe it's not going to be a problem for everyone, maybe I'm just stupid, but it certainly catches me out pretty much every time, and I'm always surprised by it. I mean, you'd think I'd learn, but apparently not.
No word of a lie, during this review, he's done it probably about between 7 and 10 times. And each fucking time he said, no, that's wrong, or you fucking idiot, or, you know, some variation of himself.
Yeah, no excuses. Maybe I'm just dumb, but you know, I'll accept that. But again, if you've got any experience with this and you also get caught, I'd love to hear from you so I know I'm not a fucking idiot.
Speaking of dumb things, the next thing that we've got on the list is the battery tubes and those thick wraps that will probably have a bit of an issue with the getting in and out of this mod.
Yeah, the battery tubes are good if you've got a standard wrap. There's no rattle in your batteries. That's me pressing the button. No. Not that button. Yeah, so there's no rattle of the batteries themselves, which is good. That's what you want, but that trade-off means thick wraps will get stuck. And lastly, for the cons list is going to be the airflow adjustment. Where it sits so close to the base, it's a little bit fiddly to do, but you know, as we said, it's not something you're going to be adjusting all the time. You're going to set it once and you're going to want to leave it, so it's kind of out of the way then, so it's not all bad.
Okay, so we're moving over now to those beautiful pros that we've been promising you. First up is the USB charging.
Yeah, maybe not the best pro on the list. However, having it is a really nice addition. It works good. You've got that independent cell monitoring, and yeah, it's good for that emergency situation where you've got that, a cable, and a laptop, and you know you don't have to run out of juice. Next up on the pros list has got to be the design of it, the looks of it, the styling of it, the way it fits in your hand. It just looks and works so well in your hand.
The next pro I'm taking, so that this review doesn't turn into sort of like a 3-hour review and someone doesn't get caught up with his coils again, is the fact that the tank works great with the coils while they're working.
Next up's got to be the OLED display with all that information on it. I just love it. There's everything I want to see there. It's going to show you what amps you're pulling. It's going to show you individual cell monitoring for your battery level. All of that good stuff is really nice to see.
And lastly, for the pros list, has got to be that menu layout. While it's a familiar layout to a lot of us that have had Smok devices before, you know, setting that the TC mode, it's just a very logical sort of layout.
Actually, I'm going to chime in one more there. I'm really impressed with the flavour on these T8 coils. Considering they're a high wattage coil, you still get really good flavour come through. Obviously, we don't know the life on these yet, but again, check the vlog later.
Okay guys, so that was our review of the Smok Alien kit for you. It's a highly capable unit that we've both had a pleasure in using. So thanks for watching the review. If you like what you're seeing, please drop a like and do the whole subscribe thing because it helps us out a lot. Also, join us on the social medias, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We get on there quite a bit.
Yeah, we do, and we are quite chatty. I can't not say it, god damn it. Yeah, if you've got any questions about this device or anything else, hit us up in the comments section below or find us on the social media. But for now guys, thanks for watching Smog Vlog. Should do my impression of Alien. Yeah, where the extra mouth comes out. Great.
Oh shit. Hi, I'm Tony, this is Slack, welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be reviewing the Alien Smoke Kit.
No.
3 words.
Yeah.
Still,
I know.
still managed to fuck it up.
Yep. And you have a go at me when, you know. Look, I managed to remember one thing. You thought I was going to screw up, but you know, this 3-word thing is apparently too much. Yeah, fair enough. We have been recording for 2 minutes.
Exactly. See?
Oh, what? You're not in the zone.
Don't
yet?
take into consideration the half hour before that, before we click the record button. Also, massive lag.
Oh well. We've got that out of the way now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Take 2.
Right, let's we'll shut him back up for now. Ooh, nice click there, nice clicky action. Had a drip tip, it looked pretty good. You've got download for downloading custom pictures. Firmware updates. Yeah, I didn't know what it did, Tony. It's no good doing that bum face at me.
It's just the fact that you said pictures. And welcome back in the room. Like I said, Smok Alien kit. Right, the kit consists of the Smok Alien 220 mod and the TF V8 Baby Beast. You spelt that wrong. Remember for next time. Moving quickly on.
Okay. Yeah, so they're both really good bits of kit in their own right. So, you know, as always, we go review them separately, the mod, the thing, and then talk about how they are, you know, their combined sum of their thing. And yeah, great, it'll be amazing. Should I do that again?
The thing
Should we just leave that in?
Well, yes.
Good. Celebratory vape. Oh, is that the toast thing? Tastes like feet secondhand.
Second-hand feet.
Well, second-hand vape that tastes just like feet.
We're going to produce a juice line.
Second-hand feet. Brilliant. I can see that flying off the shelves. Straight into the bin because it didn't sell.
Walking out the shop.
Feet, let's see what you did there. Intro screen wipe. And then we will read out what is on screen. Here. I'll do the first bit.
Oh, do you just want to rattle through it?
Oh yeah, can do.
Yeah, you rattle it.
Schwaffle it.
One of these days.
I really want the old pick of the pops count. Or however.
Top of the pops.
Top of the pops, yeah, but they did the chart countdown.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so 220 watt dual laning 650.
Shit, fucking hell. Yeah. Had to work there to fucking
Yeah.
remember that. That's a deep, dusty memory.
Dirty. Okay, let me do it. Jesus Christ.
You said you were going to do it.
Too much burnt toast. It caught the back of my throat. And again, what the fuck?
Catching the back of the throat.
Let's just see the wispy bit of vapour.
Next up for you.
Arse.
Arse. Coil options wise for this unit, it comes with arse. Coil options wise. Coil options wise.
10-4.
Roger.
Hello, London. This is Jersey. Are you receiving? Over.
As a train arrived at the station. Go-to defence mechanism. Can't stop laughing. Must vape.
Well, we're not filming. I'll sneak a quick vape in.
Baby Q2, which is a 0.4 ohm dual coil that comes pre-installed in the tank. Very good.
Turned it down. Yeah, I will turn it down a bit. I want to keep this coil. I'll turn it up a bit. Fuck's sake.
Next up for you guys is sturdiness. Now, we found it to be pretty solid little unit that has a snake inside it, apparently. Little tiny snake. And a Hannibal Lecter now as well. What the fuck is going on?
Just check what I put in there.
Yeah, yeah. It's all these
Cats.
yeah, Knight and Cat. Moving over to sturdiness now, and I'm going to try this one with my fucking teeth in. It's a pretty solid little unit. It's well constructed. It's a stainless steel
Construction. Brilliant.
Do you want to do it?
The Baby Beast is a pretty sturdy little unit. It feels like it would take a knot. It's not. Simple as that. Take 4. Down. Fuck's sake. Every time.
You've got a mental block, haven't you?
But yeah, because it's lower. My brain just goes, it's lower. Press the lower button to lower it. It's so fucking obvious. But it's wrong. It looks like a drunk face as well.
Mother beer.
And maybe absinthe. I breathed in too much. Jeez. Time. I couldn't tell you I was about to burp, so don't start, because I was about to burp.
You look like you were in your Tai Chi shit.
Focus.
The next con which I'm taking, so this...
These are pros.
The next
Don't have a vape yet. Let's get through this. I'm desperate for a piss. I think it started seeping out. Hurry up, I can't laugh too much.
I think we might have synced up, because when I just laughed there, I
A
felt
little bit of weed came out.
No, but it is now. I have to squeeze.
What, me?
If I squeeze you, we're both going to be in trouble. It's going to make good entertainment, though. 2 grown men pissing themselves.
Yeah, I was planning on going at least another 30 years before I start weeing myself.
Oh, no, mate. Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.